What is up, everyone? Welcome to Promethean Tides. I'm General. As always, I'm joined by Breaker. What is going on, Breaker?
I can see things no one else can see, and I can do things no one else can do, and I can also embody things that, in some cases, were best left consigned to the eldritch depths of the horrors beyond the veil of space.
Wow. Okay, good to know. And we are also, once again, joined by Siphon. What's going on, Siphon?
Nothing much. Brakir's statement inspired me to blink.
As
Okay.
well it should.
All right. Well, be sure to blink and not wink, I guess. Okay, so...
Oh, that won't be until later.
Right. So we have a couple interesting news items that have occurred. Number one, Trump has announced that he will be running for president. I think that everyone more or less expected that, but I think that that's tremendous news. I am giddy like a schoolgirl. Thank God that Trump has decided to announce. I will say on the offset that I am very dubious that DeSantis will be running, given Trump's announcement. He has a tendency to suck up all the oxygen in the room. All of the media attention is on him, and I am looking forward to the next 2 years. I mean, he's going to be more active in the public space. He's going to be making a whole bunch of political points. He's going to be on the campaign trail, and he's going to be mercilessly roasting Biden the entire time. So I think that's awesome. And the second story that we'll get into is this FTX thing and some of the ideas surrounding that, and yeah, very 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 interesting stuff. Uh, But with that, I thought that we could actually go over maybe some of Trump's speech. So actually,
This is going to be such.
yeah. So we have Trump's speech here, and I thought that we might go through a bit of it.
It's going to be a tremendous speech. You're going to love it, believe me.
USA.
Well, thank you very much. And on behalf of Melania, myself, and our entire family, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's a very special occasion at a very special place. You and all of those watching are the heart and soul of this incredible movement and the greatest country in the history of the world. It's very simple.
You're wonderful people.
There's never
You're
been
people.
anything
You're tremendous. I love you, all of you.
like it. This great movement of ours, never been anything like it, and perhaps there will never be anything like it again. There's never been anything to compete with what we have all done.
Let's fucking go.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and my fellow citizens, America's comeback starts right now.
Oracle. Come on, man. Oracle.
2 years ago, when I left office, the United States stood ready for its golden age. Our nation was at the pinnacle of power, prosperity, and prestige,
Sure.
towering above all rivals, vanquishing all enemies, and striding into the future, confident and so strong. In 4 short years, everybody was doing great. Men, women, African Americans, Asian Americans, Hispanic Americans, everybody was thriving.
Also, white Americans, to be fair. We're not going to go through the whole speech, but I agreed with almost everything that Trump had to say last night. Not so big about his ideas about drug dealers. I think that it was it's one of those big ask sort of things. He wants to give the death penalty to drug dealers. I think that probably mostly has to do with people dealing fentanyl as opposed to let's say like if someone's dealing marijuana or shrooms or acid or something, probably around the whole fentanyl thing. Big ask strategy. That's what Trump is known for. But in general, I liked a lot of what Trump had to say. So I guess that maybe we'll just skip ahead a little bit here.
I mean, okay, even one thing I will say in regards to that, even if you grant him the benefit of the doubt of it being quote unquote the big ask, where he asked for 100 and through a bunch of bargaining and compromises, he eventually lands on an arbitrary number like 48, which is kind of in the ballpark of what he really wanted, but he overshot the initial thing. It's like the classic businessman hard sell type of thing. Even in that context with the death penalty for drug dealers thing, you know, in my opinion, I think decriminalization of a lot of things would probably be a lot better, but like you were saying, it probably has more to do with... Now, if what he means by drug dealers is certain big pharma executives that caused the fucking fentanyl and Vicodin and opioid crisis to begin with, I would probably be much more in favor of that.
Yeah, perhaps there should be some capital justice dished out for some of those particular execs. Perhaps not recommending anything here on the Promethean Tides.
Boo!
This is just hyperbolic
Just own up to it.
legalese. It's like if this were like to become like a proposed law, I wouldn't necessarily be against it.
Boo! Just admit it.
He that's the one thing that he said that I didn't like, but everything else he said was, in my opinion, awesome. So yeah, he kind of he talks for a bit here. We'll just skip ahead and get into the meat of it. For the first half of the speech, he's it seems like he's reading off a teleprompter, but then for the second,
It's just like, you wonderful people, you terrific people, you're tremendous. There's no better people on the earth. The Hispanics, the African Americans, the Asian Americans, the
Everyone's
Native
terrific,
Americans,
yeah.
the people from the Marshall Islands. Look at my Puerto Rican over there. You're all tremendous, wonderful people. So terrific. I love all of you.
Everyone's
The Numa
tremendous.
Numa guy has been honored as a honorary American citizen.
Was he not an American citizen?
No, I think he's like Hungarian or something.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, so, first half of the speech, he's on the teleprompter, and, it's kind of boring. I mean, there's nothing really bad about it. It's just kind of, you know, it's Trump with a teleprompter. The real Trump is Trump when he's not on the teleprompter. So we'll skip ahead into the speech a bit.
Do that. We can do it. Our victory will be built upon big ideas, bold ambitions, and daring dreams for America's future. We need daring dreams. It is not enough merely to complain or oppose. We don't want to be critics. We don't want to be complainers. I never wanted to be a critic. I never respected critics. They tell people what's wrong, but they can't do it themselves. We will win because we will fight with every measure of our strength and with every ounce of our energy to lift up the working men and working women of America and to restore the fabric of this nation. The radical left Democrats have embraced an extreme ideology of government domination and control. Our approach is the opposite, one based on freedom, values, individual responsibility, and just plain common sense. It's common sense.
God, what a lion of a man.
You're going to love it. So tremendous.
In 2 years, the Biden administration has destroyed the U.S. economy, just destroyed it. With victory, we will again build the greatest economy ever. It will take place quickly. We will build the greatest economy ever.
I do want to point out, unlike Siphon here, I was actually alive during 2016. It was the strength of the economy under Trump was incredible. I mean, going from the Obama administration into the Trump administration, I mean, everyone was making money. Everything was going well. I made so many dollars in the stock market during that time. It was actually a very tremendous time. And Breaker, I know that you're not a particularly political person. I mean, you are. You just don't like to get involved in politics specifically. But I mean, you had to acknowledge that even for yourself, the economy was doing better. You were probably in a better position, economically speaking, during the Trump administration.
Well, I honestly, technically, yes, but a lot of that has to do with the particular time I got into the stock market around the giant frickin' buy the dip phase, where you would have to be a total idiot not to be able to make money. I even made money off of penny stocks. This is not financial advice, but I made money off freaking penny stocks. Like I made like 200% returns on fucking penny stocks.
Jesus Christ. Not financial advice, but I don't think that any rational adult man should be investing in penny stocks, but I guess you did, and I'm glad that it worked out for you.
Well, it was like $100 that I made like near $300 off it. So.
I mean, not bad. At the beginning of the Biden administration, I put a few dollars into a penny stock called HCMC, and that's all gone now. It doesn't exist anymore.
Womp womp.
I wasn't quite as lucky, but yeah.
And if you remember, I did it twice. I did it before COVID and then handed off something where the stock market was higher than just prior to COVID coming in. And we did it twice, and we will do it again, but this time we'll do it bigger, stronger, better than anybody can even imagine. And one of the beautiful things of the pause, if there is such a thing as a beautiful thing, but one of the important factors of the pause is that we see how bad they've done. So we will be able to do it properly, and it will be much easier. Everybody will agree with us because everybody sees what a bad job has been done during this 2-year period, and it will be a 4-year period. Everybody sees that. It will be much easier for us to do what has to be done.
Oh, snap.
He's going to do what has to be done.
We will immediately tackle inflation and bring down to a level that it was. We were at 0, but actually the best number is 1%. Do you know that? You don't want it really 0. But we were at 0. We actually got it to exactly 1%, the perfect number. One thing every economist agrees, don't have it 0, have it like at 1%. They even say 1 to 2, but I said, let's do 1. And we had it at 1.
I love that. Breaker, what do you think inflation is at right now?
Over 9%.
I would guesstimate, yeah. The when the people who release the numbers on inflation, when they study that, they don't take into account things like specifically food and gas prices, and that's where we've seen some of the most inflation. So whatever numbers these people are putting out, it's higher, it's bigger. Inflation.
What about the CPI?
The CPI?
Yeah, Consumer Price Index.
Yeah. What's it at right now?
I'm unsure, but that's another metric we could take a look at.
Yeah.
And that does account for things like, I think, food.
Well,
want to bring up the chat?
Yeah, bring up the chat.
Whatever the number is, yeah, it's definitely it's big. I know that at the store, there's like they box mac and cheese, and the mac and cheese that used to be $1.40 is now like $3 over the course of the last 2 years. Whatever the fuck inflation is at, it's insane. I
You see, that's why I buy in bulk at Sam's Club and/or Costco, and I get the giant 12-pack of mac and cheese, shells and cheese in the big giant cube.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, a fair point by Trump. I think that he has the knowledge and the know-how to bring down inflation. I don't know exactly how he did it, but he did it. He did it during his time in the presidency. So I'm willing to trust him to do it again. So fuck yeah.
Percent, and we had it there for a long period of time, and we had the value of the dollar. We had it so that this country could make a lot of money, and I fought other countries where they devalued their dollar, they devalued their currency, whether it was the pound or whether it was the yuan or the yen, and I used to fight like cats and dogs with the leaders of other countries because they were stealing from us. When they did that, they had artificial devaluations of their currency. It's a very important thing. I haven't even heard it mentioned in 2 years. That's a very important thing. It's very hard for us to compete when they do that artificially. And they had to pay a big price when they did it. And they never really did it for very long. I said, we're not going to do business with you anymore as a country. And they believed me. And they let it go back up. Instead of putting America last, as the Biden administration has done very, very openly and bravely, because I can't imagine saying, let's put America last. I think it takes courage.
America first, fuck yeah. We'll skip ahead a little bit here again, but yeah, America first. Why the fuck not? I believe that we should be putting our citizens first. I'm not really sure why it is that our nation should be more interested in the citizens of other nations than its own citizens. I'm not exactly sure why it is that we're importing so many people into our nation and putting them up in hotels, giving them money. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but we're doing that for some unknown reasons that the Democrats must know very well. But yeah, we'll just skip ahead here a little bit.
50 years, it hasn't been good. What I didn't know would take place so fast. And Germany closed, as you know, all of its coal-powered plants and its nuclear plants. They closed everything, and now they're building coal plants, and they're building them fast. And China's building a coal plant every week. Every week they open up another, and then they talk about all of the things that they do environmentally. They're watching us die with the Green New Deal, with our windmills and with our solar that doesn't have the power to fire up our great factories and our great plants. They are watching us die, and they're laughing as it happens. Remember, economic security is national security, and that's what it is. We need economic security. That is why we will launch an all-out campaign to eliminate America's dependence on China.
So it was funny. Trump actually he said to Germany, he said, "Hey, why are you guys shutting off your nuclear power plants? This isn't good. Why are you making yourselves so dependent on Russian oil?" And then the Germans laughed at him, and they went, "Ha ha ha, Mr. Trump, you don't know anything. We're going to be totally fine relying on Russia for oil and shutting down our nuclear power plants." And that didn't actually end up going so well for Germany, interestingly enough. Breaker, you have any thoughts about this?
Russia, the tremendous, they're wonderful people, horrible people. You can't trust them. They're so horrible.
Yeah, I don't understand why precisely it is that the lefties hate being energy independent. Like, we have to get the energy from somewhere, obviously. So either we can extract it out of our own lands and maybe have our own nuclear power plants and do our own thing and be energy independent, or we can switch to being super duper green, but still import a shit ton of oil from Russia in the Middle East. Like, I don't understand why it is that it's more environmentally friendly to ship the oil from the Middle East rather than get it here in good old North America. I don't understand this. None of this makes any sense to me. Trump actually was able to get us to energy independence and not be reliant on fucking Saudi Arabia. And for some reason, the left hates this. I don't understand. In theory, doesn't it actually release more carbon? Isn't there a larger carbon footprint by shipping the oil all the way from Saudi Arabia to America? Isn't that actually a larger carbon footprint than just, getting it out of our own lands? None of this makes any fucking sense. Isn't the best way to reduce your carbon footprint by I don't know, having functioning nuclear reactors? Like, nuclear reactors are the greenest form of energy that exists, and the left fucking hates those. Nothing that the left has proposed makes any sense. They've demonstrated that they have no capacity for leadership. Whenever they're in a leadership position, they drive this nation into the ground. They cannot be trusted to be at the helm. I am firmly in the position that the only way that America can possibly recover from this mess is with this Orange Man. I believe that Orange Man actually is the solution to a lot of the qualms.
Don't you understand that Orange Man is bad? And by talking about him, you're bad. Time for more soulmate.
I mean, that is true. Orange Man bad. We do have to remember that Orange Man bad, and that is the most important thing.
Exactly.
Forget about the price of your gasoline. Forget about the price of food. Forget about your children and them being taught how to properly transition. Forget about all that. The most important thing that you have to remember is Orange Man bad. It's more important than anything else. Don't worry about fucking oil prices. Don't worry about your trans kids. Okay, Orange Man bad.
Well, actually, the most important thing is that you remember my pronouns, which is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and you have to refer to me like that every time you mention me like a royal title. Time for more estrogen!
China. We will bring our supply chains, which are a disaster right now. You can't get anything, and good luck getting a turkey for Thanksgiving. Number one, you won't get it, and if you do, you're going to pay 3 to 4 times more than you paid last year. But we will bring our supply chains and manufacturing base back home, as we were strongly doing during the Trump administration, and we will systematically bring back wealth, health, and success to the American middle class and to America itself.
Let's go.
Please. Yeah, please sit down. I feel so guilty having you stand. No. No, you've been standing for the whole event. I feel very guilty. I don't want that to happen. To every worker and family struggling to survive in the Biden economy with inflation destroying your family and your life, this campaign will be for you. Help is on the way. Joe Biden has abolished America's borders. We are going to restore and secure America's borders just like we had them before, best ever. We built the wall, and now we will add to it. Now, we built the wall, we completed the wall, and then we said, let's do more, and we did a lot more. And as we were doing it, we had an election that came up. And when they came in, they had 3 more weeks to complete the additions to the wall, which would have been great. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. And that's when I realize that they actually want to have this disaster known as open borders. Hard to believe, isn't it? But one.
So, I've racked my brain trying to figure this out, and I still haven't been able to come to a good analysis, a good idea about why this is. Breaker, why do you think it is that the Democrats want to have mass immigration so bad? Is it simply because they want the South Americans and the Mexicans to vote for them? Is it simply about bringing in a voting bloc, or is there something else to it? Why does America have to have mass immigration?
Oh, well, you see, the reason is it enriches our cultural tapestry with more diversity and opportunity for more people, you see.
Diversity is our strength.
Like,
That's right.
exactly. I'm trans again.
No, I mean, I have no idea like who this benefits. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Just the mass importation of people into America. I don't know who this is benefiting. I mean, maybe it benefits some of the big Democrat donors, like maybe there's some like businesses, and by importing a whole bunch of people, you increase the supply of labor, thereby decreasing the cost of labor. Maybe it's that. I'm not really sure. A lot of the people that we import, though, they end up being relatively low skilled labor. And if you import a whole bunch of low skilled labor, then who does that affect the most? Well, that's gonna decrease the wages of the poor the most. And the fact is that the poorest people in America, unfortunately, are going to be on average, the African Americans. So by having this mass immigration of low skilled laborers, you effectively decrease the wages of African Americans. You're hurting them the most, because that's competition for those jobs. And then the Democrats also claim that they're helping the African Americans, I guess, by giving them government money and putting them on welfare and keeping them poor, and setting up Planned Parenthood clinics all throughout their neighborhoods, to the point that something like half of all African American babies are aborted. I mean, to me, the entire Democrat policy seems as though it's very, very racist. It seems like it's actually quite anti-black. They claim that they're pro-black. They claim that they love African Americans, but everything that they do hurts African Americans, and essentially keeps them in a almost like a modern day form of slavery. At least that's how I see it. I mean, I'm not black myself, so I don't know if I should be able to talk about it. But
Well, you see, that's just your white supremacist cultural patriarchal hegemony hierarchy speaking. You're just racist and bad, and you should stop talking.
yeah, that sounds about right.
You're bad, just like Orange Man, because you didn't give me free estrogen.
Now, Siphon, you're an African American. What do you feel about all this?
I really think that we should try to do something really cool. I think that we should go back to making jazz music and like just play it on the town square. We get everyone all gathered into one group. We teach them how to play jazz, and we have a jazz-making society.
I have like a jazz-based economy.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. What do you think about that?
I mean, jazz is cool, right? That's what I've been
Yeah,
told.
we have a cool economy.
We'd be a bunch of cool cats in
Our
that cool
economy
economy.
was too hot. Our economy was too hot before. We need to
Yeah, you
cool it
got to
down
get
with
more downbeat, more cool, smooth jazz. Yeah, I see what you're thinking. I'm in the pocket, man. I'm totally with this vibe.
I think that's
nice.
that's the people that voted for Biden. I think that's exactly what they thought. They were like, "Oh, America is doing too good. The economy's doing too good. We're winning too much," and they got sick of winning. And they were like, "Yeah, come on, winning is getting boring."
Yeah, it's like cheating in a video game.
Exactly, like when you play GTA with cheat codes. You know, it's
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? This is not a challenge. And then you got to turn the cheats off and actually give yourself a handicap so it can be harder.
exactly.
It can be more challenging. It can be exhilarating. It can be fun.
And that's I believe that is what the Biden voters wanted. They were like, "Hey, I'm sick
Turn
of
the
playing
cheats
on
off.
easy mode. I wanna crank it up to max difficulty. I wanna really experience the true grit of life." And they got Biden in, and goddamn it, they got exactly what they wanted. They now America is playing on hardcore difficulty. And they got what they wanted. Thank you, Biden voters, for making life harder for every American citizen. You made life harder for everyone. That's what you wanted. Thank you, all of you, for voting for Biden.
Well, in Trump's own words, he did try to warn us that we would win so much you're going to get tired of winning. Believe me. We should have believed him.
They got tired of it. That's true. He's been right since the beginning.
One of the reasons we had so much success at the border was because of the fact that two things. We got Mexico to give us free of charge 28,000 soldiers. That helps. And President of Mexico is a great gentleman, by the way. Socialist, but that's okay. He can't have everything. But he's a great man and a great friend of mine. But 28,000 soldiers while we were building the wall. And then when the wall was finished, that's how we set all these records. We have records that nobody can even compete with. Right now, it's a disaster. I believe it's 10 million people coming in, not 3 or 4 million people. Never before. The human trafficking, you think of it as an ancient thing. It's not ancient. Because of the internet, human trafficking is worse than it's ever been in history. And we stopped them at the southern border, which is the #1 port all over the world, the southern border. So much comes through the southern border. #1 port, and we stopped them, and now it's at levels that are many, many, many times what it was just 2 years ago. Biden and the radical left had let loose on this total breakdown of law and order. It was a total breakdown of law and order. I will restore public safety in American cities and other communities that need our help. And if they don't want our help, we're going to insist that they take our help this time.
The unfortunate thing about this speech is that the audience does not break out into a chant of "Build the Wall." I feel as though at some point they really should have done that, but they never go, "Build the wall, build the wall." They never do that. It's unfortunate.
And also, unfortunately, is like every time he mentions anything about the vaccine, they tend to boo. And as we know, the totally safe and effective vaccine, of which Siphon has had the initial vaccine and several boosters on top of it can attest to, it is completely safe and it has no negative side effects whatsoever.
Siphon only has a mild case of myocarditis. In fact, it's very mild. He's basically healthy.
Extremely mild. Not even noticeable.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that it does have to be acknowledged that that Trump did not do a great job with the warp speed project that he put forward. This is what enabled us to have these incredibly safe and effective vaccines. I don't think that he did a great job at that. But during the speech, I'm not sure if he's going to get to it or if it was said previously and then we skip past it. But he said that he would he was against the vaccine mandates and that he wanted to re-employ any military people that were fired for not taking the vaccine and actually give them back pay for their troubles. That's fantastic. That's exactly what the military needs. We should keep in mind that when it comes to military recruitment, America is actually way behind the number of people that it requires. People have stopped signing up for the military, probably in part to a couple reasons. Number one, there are vaccine mandates in the military, and some people just they don't want to take it because I guess they're evil, bad people. But regardless, they don't want the Fauci ouchie. And I think another reason is that the military has gone so woke. It pushes a whole bunch of progressive nonsense, teaching all about, white privilege and things like that. Things that aren't necessarily that important when it comes to combat readiness, but I guess the military has deemed it to be very important for whatever reasons. Our military right now is probably weaker than than it has been in the last 50 years. It's not good. And for us to have strength, I think that Jesus Christ, we can't keep electing Democrats.
Yeah, demon
You know,
rats.
the Democrat governors, these are all Democrat cities. The governors and mayors are supposed to ask for the help, and they would never ask for the help. And yet people are being shot and killed at random like nobody's ever seen before. And we sent in the National Guard in Minneapolis and in other places. In Seattle, we went and we were getting ready to go, and they took over part of the city. And the governors, the Democrats don't want to ever ask to do anything because they don't want to shake things up. In the meantime, the cities are rotting, and they are indeed cesspools of blood. So we're going to go and help them, even if they don't.
Also, a good point. The three largest cities in America are New York, LA, and Chicago. Breaker and Siphon, would either of you want to live in any of those godforsaken cities?
Which city?
New York, LA, and Chicago. Three largest cities in America, completely run by Democrats, and
Honestly, depends where. I want to live in the base parts, the good parts. You know what I mean?
what are the good parts?
Ones that don't really have crime.
Which parts don't really?
You mean where the
I
Democrats
don't
live?
fucking know, dude. I don't know. I can't name you a specific district or a specific thing inside the city. I can't do that.
What? I mean,
It sounds like the Destiny debate all over again.
Okay, with New York. I mean,
True.
is it where is it in New York that doesn't have a shit ton of crime? Is it Queens?
Oh,
Is it
no,
Brooklyn? Is
wait.
it the
I know
Bronx?
where it is.
Where
I
is
know
it?
where it is.
Is it
All I have
Staten
to-
Island?
All I have to do, wait, hold on. All I have to do is close my eyes and then I imagine it. There you go.
Dude, I think in the past couple months, it's been like 10 people have been pushed in front of the subway trains.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah, it's a big oof. Like, what the fuck?
Ooh.
Yeah, crime is rampant in all of these Democrat-run cities. We've seen a mass exodus of people. A whole bunch of Californians, New Yorkers, they've all moved to Texas and Florida because they're sick of the crime in their cities. The cities have gotten poorer. They've gotten worse. And this is all under the brilliant and wise leadership of Democrats. I mean, things are going bad for these large cities. It's not going well. So yeah, I mean that's what Democrat leadership brings you. I happen to live in an area that is mostly controlled by Democrats, and yeah, I know a bit about this. Fucking Democrats. The people keep voting for them, mind you. Of course, they'll never be voted out of power, but they're not doing a good job.
I don't know. I think I have to ask my wife's boyfriend for like an opinion on this.
Exactly.
It's a good point.
That's always the best person to consult. And by the way, to answer your initial question, General Chief, I believe my general consensus on living in any one of those places would be first hell, abruptly followed by no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be a nomad.
In the caravans, I love the
Pretty
name. I
much.
came up with it. I love the name. The caravans, thousands and thousands of people. And in those caravans, you have some rough people. I said, you're not taking them back. Well, we didn't know that this was a problem, sir. Is there anything we could do? I said, yeah, take them back. We would be glad to take them back, sir. They took them back. I still didn't give them the 750, but that's okay. And by the way, now Biden wants to give them $4 billion. They were happy with 750, and now they want to give them $4 billion. Somebody someday is going to explain that one to me. It actually makes you rage with anger when you hear that. They wanted 750 so badly, and now they're getting $4 billion. We will wage war upon the cartels and stop the fentanyl and deadly drugs from killing 200,000 Americans per year.
I mean, he has a good point. Fentanyl is, it does kill a lot of people.
Fentanyl is a hell of a drug.
Of course, the reason why it is that we have so many people dying from fentanyl is because they go to their doctors, and the doctors over prescribe opiates, not fentanyl specifically, but other opiates. Then people get addicted to the opiates, and the pharmaceutical companies make a lot of money, which is fantastic for them. But the people get addicted to opiates, and then they have to turn to the street to get more opiates. And then people start using fentanyl, and then people die from fentanyl overdose. And this is an extremely common thing here in America. And, I mean, sure, a lot of people die, but the pharmaceutical companies make a lot of money. So, I mean, which one is more important, really?
That sounds about right to
You
me.
want to know something? I think the United States of America is like a broken man. It's, has a lot of emotional issues, ups and downs, volatile swings. And we just need a woman who can say, I can fix that. Hillary Clinton for president 2024.
Exactly. Now you're thinking on the right track.
Because you know what? She can fix him.
Wonderful. I believe in that. I agree with that. There you go.
And I will ask Congress for legislation ensuring that drug dealers and human traffickers, these are terrible, terrible, horrible people who are responsible for death, carnage, and crime all over our country. Every drug dealer during his or her life on average will kill 500 people with the drugs they sell, not to mention...
I don't believe that. I don't believe that on average drug dealers kill 500 people. Number one, I don't think that the average drug dealer is actually dealing to 500 people. I don't believe that. That's a large number of people to deal to. Number two, I happen to know a couple drug dealers, and a lot of them just sell marijuana. And I don't believe that a lot of people die from marijuana overdoses. I suppose maybe if you take enough edibles, maybe you get enough anxiety, and then I don't know, maybe you jump out a window. But that would be something that would be exceedingly rare. I don't believe that number. I don't believe that Trump is correct on this particular point. I agree with him on a lot of things, but I don't think that the average drug dealer is killing 500 people. I really don't believe that. I don't know where he got the number from.
Think about it. You know, you got to do territorial disputes. You know, they cut it with fentanyl. You know, think about it.
they cut the drug dealers are cutting their psilocybin mushrooms with fentanyl. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, I think that's patently absurd. But we'll keep listening.
Mentioned the destruction of families, but we're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts, because
Jesus Christ, the death penalty for selling a bit of drugs. Maybe it's because I'm a libertarian and I think that overall, you know, a lot of drugs should just be legal. Maybe I'm too much of a fucking hippie. I don't know, but the death penalty for drug dealers. I mean, that seems a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah, if you sell caffeine, you're fucking dying, buddy.
We're gonna round up the Starbucks baristas.
You're selling coffee? Selling coffee? You all right, man? Step up to the plate. Get on the electric chair. Say your last words. The CEO. Ooh, wait. What if Trump is actually anti-capitalist and he wants to get rid of all the coffee execs?
Oh shit.
You know what? Another way to think about this is like, so like, have you ever seen the movie Blade Runner? If you haven't, then the soy reference isn't gonna. All right, that. Yeah. So the second movie, you can think of us as Joe, right? You know, the protagonist. You can think of us as Joe, and then what we really need is a Joy. That's what we really need in this country. It's necessary.
Well, let's hear what else. On this particular issue, I think that Trump is completely wrong. It might be kind of a big ask, where he's saying, I'm going to put all the drug dealers to death, and then at the end of the big ask, it's just he arrests and locks up anyone who's dealing fentanyl. I mean, I would assume that's as the strategy here, but on the surface, this is patently absurd. But
caffeine is destroying this country.
That's right. We got to round up the fucking Starbucks baristas.
I mean, I don't know about that if it wasn't for Stacker 3, the one with the wasps on it, and a minifin. I wouldn't have gotten as far as I did today because I haven't slept in over 24 hours.
Jesus Christ.
We don't
it's a very convoluted story. Remind me to tell you about it later. Remind me never to invite you to my home.
I don't even know if the American public is ready for it. People say, please don't say that, sir. That's not nice. They kill 500 people each on average. And if you don't do this, in China, when I was with President Xi, I said, President, do you have a drug problem? No, we don't. He looked at me like I didn't know what I was doing. He said, no, we don't have a drug. How come you don't have a drug problem? He said, quick trial. What is a quick trial? I sort of knew. What is a quick trial? That's where if you get caught dealing drugs, you have an immediate and quick trial, and by the end of the day, you're executed. That's a terrible thing.
Why are people cheering for that? That's not good. That's incredibly authoritarian. That's Chinese-style communism. And by the way, China does have a drug problem. For them, it's not fentanyl. It's methamphetamines. But China has a massive issue with methamphetamines because they work their people to the bone, and the only way that
Should we give Bakir meth so he can stay longer for the show?
Oh, I mean that might be.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Also, think about it. So you see how so think about what he says a little bit more, right? These drug dealers are killing 500 people on average. That actually the math checks out, right? Because like think about how many Americans suffer from hypertension and blood pressure. because of caffeine consumption. Think about that.
Yeah, there is a lot of caffeine.
It really
Caffeine is a hell of a drug.
Grinding. It is.
I mean, actually,
Hypertension, big problem. Heart attacks, big problem.
Alcohol, also a drug, also a massive problem. I mean, think about how many stores in America sell alcohol. In fact, there are government-backed stores. There are ABC stores that actually sell liquor in its purest form. You can actually go into some of these stores and you can get Everclear. It's like it's like 190 proof. That's 95% ethanol, and we're just giving this out to people from the government. Yeah,
this is great. Not gonna be great soon because it's gonna be banned. They're not even banned. The people who sell, they're just gonna be executed.
Well, we know how well that worked last time.
Yes.
Yeah.
The war.
It's just that you know what ruined
it.
You know what ruined it? You know how like whenever you get too addicted to porn, you become a coomer, and like whenever the porn is taken away from you, you get really mad. It's the same thing what happened in the Prohibition. Took away the alcohol, aka the porn magazine, and they all got mad and like they freaked out. So like we have to do it slowly. We have to get them to rehab centers. No more caffeine, no more alcohol,
How do
no
you
more
do that
weed.
slowly?
I don't know. We find a way. Trump can always find a way.
You go in and you say like, okay, there's a national limit to how many pumpkin spice lattes you're allowed to have in a given day. Like
no more than 3, and then like next year it's gonna be more than 2, and then 1, and then half, and then 0.25, and then like.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Mayor Bloomberg was trying to do in New York.
That is true. He said, hey, the poor people. They're fat and stupid, so we need to physically take away their caffeinated sodas.
That's good because, like, you want to be a bloomer, not a coomer.
An excellent point. Yeah. Yeah. So this point that Trump is making, I strongly I can't get behind. But everything else he said.
Well, as a fan of authoritarianism myself, I have zero problems with this.
Yeah, me either. I think this all checks out.
Yeah, of course. I guess I'm the hippie libertarian here, and
boo.
yeah, boo, yeah.
If you're so much as caught passing a cigarette to someone who looks like they might be underage, technically, I think you should get the needle.
Ooh.
Nah, the needle's too good for them. The rope.
Ooh.
It's the day of the rope.
Uh-oh.
But they have no drug problem. The only drug problem they have is they make the fentanyl that comes into our country, and I had him stopping it.
So true.
When I was gone, nobody ever mentioned it to him again. We were stopping it. That
Terrific.
was way down that number, but they send it in. But they don't have a drug problem. Other countries, like Singapore, has no drug problem. No drug. You ask them, they don't even know what you're talking about when they say drug.
Dude, in Singapore, you get arrested for
spitting
gum on the street. Yeah, I personally speaking, like I know that Singapore is very clean, and if you're a law-abiding citizen, perhaps it's very nice to live in. But I don't want to fucking live in Singapore. I live in America. Maybe America's never going to be as clean and regulated as Singapore is, but that's okay. I like living in America. I find that to be not a bug, but a feature of living.
I can't believe you don't want to live in the Amos Yee homeland. Fucking can't with you, dude. Just bad take after bad take.
Yeah.
Amos fucking Yee, I believe that CP should be legal.
We're getting into dangerous territory, even mentioning that guy.
I think if he wants to come on, we should let him come on so we can have a conversation with him about Singapore.
Well, the funny thing about that is we can't because he's in fucking jail for.
Yeah, but we can do I remember the IRL thing that I mentioned last show?
Oh God, no!
That we have to bring our audience IRL, and
we're
so they
gonna
can
go
see
to the
it.
fucking jail, and we're gonna have an interview with Amos Yee through the fucking glass, the bulletproof glass.
Exactly.
Actually, if it were allowed, I would love to interview that guy.
You can. You just have to go to Michigan, I think it is. Michigan?
I can
I
go
think it's
there.
Chicago.
I can
Yeah,
go there
yeah, you're right. Chicago, Illinois.
I can go there.
I think he's in
with
Cook
my
County.
phone and like record
Yeah.
it on my phone. Yeah.
Well, the only bad part about that is we'd have to go to fucking Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to go to
Ew.
Chicago. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, we know who's there.
Actually, Chicago is MAGA country. We know.
Well, that's what Somalian immigrants that wear MAGA hats often tell me.
That's right. That is right. Yeah, very. Especially at 2 a.m. in the dead of winter in Chicago, it's MAGA country.
In the ritzy high rent district surrounded by like opulent stained glass skyscrapers is like MAGA crowd every fucking where. Another bad thing about Chicago is that there's Beetlejuice to the left of you, MSG to the right of you, and down the middle is a bunch of like belligerent Trump-supporting Somalians. It's just fucking crazy all the way around.
You know what? I think we should let them all out. It should be total.
Oh God, no! Anything but MSG. Let them all out, but MSG. No, he must never be freed.
All of them. The Somalians, every one of them.
Everyone
should be let out.
Yeah,
the Fenty dealers.
We need to build a wall around Chicago. Juicy Smollier.
We should make it into like a Mario fortress, and then like who's gonna be the princess that Mario's gonna have to
Who's
rescue?
gonna be the Bowser?
Ooh, we should put Kim Kardashian in Chicago, and then fucking Kanye has to go through a bunch of obstacles to get to her.
But who would be
okay?
Bowser? Would
okay, Mayor Gordy, whatever the fuck her name is, Beetlejuice Lightfoot can be Bowser. Mario can be Amos Yee, motherfucker, and the Goombas can be the MAGA Somalis.
That's good.
I think we've just invented the next big hit video
game. Yeah.
Get on it, Nintendo. That's the only time I'm ever gonna mention your name. Fuck Nintendo. Anyway, back to the fucking video.
Yeah.
And why should they sell there and risk their lives every time they sell when they can come to the United States and nobody even cares? They can do whatever they want to do and become rich. It's a disgrace. So if you want to get rid of that and also bring down your level of crime, probably 75 or 80%, that's the only answer. No more blue ribbon. I refuse to create them anymore. They were just a joke. It was New York people wanting to be on a committee for publicity reasons. No more blue ribbon committees. That's the only way you're going to solve the problem. And I hope politicians are listening because they should do it quickly. Joe Biden has also proven that he is committed to indoctrinating our children, even using the Department of Justice against parents who object. It's a terrible thing that's happening. It's so sad what's happening.
Okay. I would like to take this moment to advocate for my own platform here. Parental sovereignty. I think that this is the direction that this country is going, and I support it. Parental sovereignty. This is what you do. The parent. They made the little fucker, and so they have the right to do whatever they want with them. If the parent wants to take the child out of school and homeschool them, all right. If the parent wants to give them or allow them to get a one of those sex change operations, fine. I support all of it. If they want to abort them, perhaps all the way up to the 32nd trimester, maybe you allow that as well. Maybe that's a little bit too extreme, but I'm willing to entertain it. Because here's the benefit of that, right? If the parent decides to spay and neuter their child, then that problem it's taken care of. Their genetic lineage has ended. They won't be around for the next generation, and they've taken care of themselves. They've ended themselves. We don't have to deal with that anymore. They've cut themselves out of the gene pool. So it's a win-win. They want to spay and neuter their children. Okay, fine. And then, great, we only have to deal with that individual. They won't be making any further copies. That's good. And then otherwise, the more productive members of society can also decide what they want to do with their kids. And maybe they won't spay and neuter their kids, the more productive ones. And, well, that's good because, well, that's the kind of person that you want in civilization. So, parental sovereignty. I'm in support of it. What do you think, Breaker?
Oh, that sounds like the proper JF ideology. Oh, we need to let parents make up their own minds about how they raise their children, even if they have to escape to the far north in Canada.
I think that is actually the JF ideology. Yeah. I think. What's JF's position on abortion? I don't know.
As far as I'm aware, from everything I can remember of him, he seems to be like neutral on it. I think it's more of like the parental sovereignty thing, where it's just like, okay, these people, they go to edit themselves out of the gene pool. More room for me.
Okay, then I fully adopt JF's position. You know what? I think it's great when lefties cut themselves out of the gene pool. When they get abortions, when they sterilize their children. It's great. It's more room for my children. And so I salute them every time that they do it. I want to make abortion more accessible. I want to make the transgender youth clinics. I want to fund them more. It's a great thing. It's a great thing allowing people to end their genetic lineage. I think it's amazing. It helps me, right? And I like things that help me. My children will have more space in the world. I think it's the best thing. So I am taking a bit of a different stance than a lot of the conservatives. A lot of the conservatives, they say no, we need to put rules in place, like, oh no, you're not allowed to abort your babies, whatever. Because they want to help the lefties, right? But my position is I don't know if the lefties actually need our help. I think that they're doing just fine as it is. Let them keep going. Let them keep doing whatever the hell they want. I think it's probably for the betterment of the world if you allow them the freedom that they desire. But that's my stance.
Yay. What about Typhoon of Quadroon?
So have you ever watched One Piece?
No, because
occasionally.
I'm not a weeb. Oops,
Oh, shit.
sorry, that was my microphone. Okay. There's something interesting that happens there. I'm gonna show you in a moment. Alright, so do you see this right now? You can pull it up on screen.
I can't pull up on screen.
Here.
Womp womp.
You can just copy the link and then paste it, and then so everyone can see. There you go. Alright. So here's what I want society to be. I ultimately want society to be really, 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 really good, right? In the same way that you want it to be really, 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 really good. I think the way to do it is to spread positive messages, okay? So if everybody gets enough positive messages through this transponder snail, I think society will be better because there's just going to be like endless happiness.
Are you back on the snail thing?
Not the snails again.
No, this is the transponder snail.
Is it different than a regular snail?
Yeah.
Okay. What's different about this one?
It can communicate to like other beings, basically.
I mean, shit, I'm communicating with you right now.
Yeah, you're using, I guess, in effect, a transponder snail.
I'm using the internet.
The transponder snail is using the internet.
Okay, so it's like a snail, but it's connected to the internet.
Yeah, and like,
I'm
if
not
you give
seeing the
everybody
connection.
enough positive messages, I guess they would just won't abort their child, and they won't like, they'll just leave it be.
So you're saying
See, I have some concerns about the transponder snail. Like, what if the whatever set of moral norms that these mollusks, that the snail, that this proteostome creature has, I'm afraid it might not be aligned with us mammary gland bearing advanced invertebrate mammals. Like, its moral norms might be so radically different and alien that the message that it thinks is positive to spread might be horrible, like amoral, crime laden, that sows anarchy and chaos among humans. But by the snail's moral standard would be perfectly normal.
yeah, we would find it to be morally repugnant, but
We're gonna have to investigate the snail then.
but
Yes.
I mean, is the human morality the absolute morality, or is it the relative morality?
Oh, that is the question.
Yeah, what if the transponder snail is actually has access to something that we don't have access to?
Right,
and
like,
can actually
we
make better
would find
decisions.
it-
Yeah,
We would
true.
find it to be morally disgusting, but perhaps actually it is more just than us. How would we know?
Exactly. What if the transponder snail proves that there's objective morality?
And what is it necessarily about being a vertebrate mammal deuterostome as opposed to an invertebrate mollusk proteostome? Like, how could we honestly say that we are more advanced and therefore closer to the true and essential morality than the snail?
Holy shit! How long have snails been around?
A
Much
long
longer than
time.
mammals.
They probably know more shit than us then.
Exactly. On a primordial level, yes, they are a much more ancient creature than even reptiles.
They have been around for a
Holy
bit.
shit!
That's true.
So humans have been around since approximately 300,000 years ago.
I mean,
And
barely.
snails have been around since 500 million years ago.
Yeah, they've been
Exactly.
around for a minute.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they're pretty old.
They're old. I think, going by wisdom here is the best option. I think they have the most wisdom.
And the snail is wise because everything it does is slow and calculating, whereas like everything we do is really jerky and quick in
Fast.
comparison. Yeah.
Super
This-
fast.
On the surface, this of course is a completely absurd conversation, but we're actually hitting on some deep conservative ideology here. Actually.
Yeah.
That's the-
Yeah, snails are actually conservative.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They've
They
had
look
the
pretty
same
happy to me.
morphology for hundreds of millions of years.
And they also, the mollusks, they produced such amazing organisms, such as the octopus and the squid. Very intelligent, long-lived beings. So
There you go.
So, let's think about the shell as well. I mean, let's think about how just brilliant the design of a snail is.
the certain snail shells, they actually they follow the Fibonacci spiral, the golden
Yeah.
ratio. So
What do you think about that?
I mean, it's incredible, right?
Yeah. What do you know about snails as an educated man yourself?
Honestly, I don't know that many things. They're mollusks.
Ooh, okay.
And
What is a
They're
mollusk again?
proteostomes.
They are proteostomes. They have a foot, and they have a yep, they have a foot. I know that.
Proteostome is a multicellular organism whose mouth develops from a primary embryonic opening, such as an
We can
annelid
actually go into the
derived
difference of a proteostome versus a deuterostome here. Why not?
And wait a minute,
Those are
aren't most
deuterostomes.
snails hermaphroditic?
True.
They might be. Now,
Ooh.
for the audience, the difference between a proteostome and a deuterostome is, when the blastocele, is doing its invagination, which is where the digestive tract is initially laid out. The proteostome means that the initial invagination is the mouth. So it's
Ooh, okay.
proteostome, so it's mouth first, and then deuterostome is the initial invagination is actually anus
Yes.
first. So
Ooh,
we are deuterostomes. We develop ass first, whereas bugs and insects and spiders and also mollusks, they develop mouth first. But we do it ass first because we love doing things ass first.
I wonder why. I wonder why that is.
That
Or
is
how?
that's just a, I mean it's just a funny bit in
Interesting.
evolution. It's a fundamental demarker between vertebrates and invertebrates mostly, but it doesn't mean that much really.
So you're saying before the blastocyst period, right? This is what you mean? That the mouth or the anus?
I think it's the blastocele, not the blastocyst.
Oh, blastocele. Okay.
Um,
So before the blastocele period, either the mouth or the anus form first. Interesting. In deuterostomes, the anus develops first before the blastocele, and then for proteostomes, the mouth
mouth
develops. Yeah. Interesting. I did not know that.
Well, how about that Donald Trump, everybody?
I was about to say, I feel like we're a little bit off topic.
This is interesting, though. This is really nice.
I know it is, but aren't we still technically? Don't we still have something about cryptocurrency to talk about? I don't remember.
Let's,
What the fuck is my life? Amos Yee, Donald Trump, cryptocurrency, something. And then fucking
I don't think I
snails.
should be on the show anymore.
Fucking snails!
I don't think I should be here. It just derails
Oh, you're
so
gonna piss
fucking
me off now,
far.
motherfucker. You're in this with the rest of us, you son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
Let's keep listening to Trump's speech.
Yes.
What is it?
When
What
I'm
does
in
he
the
have to say
White
about
House,
the
our schools
transponders?
will cease
I'm sure he has
pushing
something to say
critical
about it.
race theory as they were. Radical civics and gender
radical.
insanity. Or if they do that, they will lose all federal funding, but we'll get them to stop.
Yeah.
And I will be the president who finally fixes education in America. We were doing great. We were starting to really get it right. We will not let men, as an example, participate in women's sports. Is that okay?
Oh,
No
snap.
Oh,
That's offensive. That's transphobic. I don't like that. Orange Man bad. Stop him. Take his podium away. I need more estrogen.
I believe that we should have a men's sports, a women's sports,
and other.
and then another branch of sports, and it's you just do whatever you want. Like
I agree.
fucking blood doping, take a bunch of testosterone, just performance enhancing chemicals, like all through the
Ooh, I should agree
wazoo,
with that.
just all of it. I want that sports. That's
You
gonna
know
be the
what
best
else?
sports.
You know what else should be in the other category just for the fucking shits and giggles? We should have like literal fucking snail races. Because fuck it.
Oh,
That's where the snails come in. This is like the third branch of sports that we're definitely going to need to have. It's going to be LGBTQ trans people and snails. I know which will make it to the finish line first because all the fucking postmodern relativists will be like, well, why did you finish that anyway? Could you define that in your patriarchal hierarchical system? And while they're prattling around about that, the snail is going to be inching closer, and they're never going to do anything, and the snail's actually going to fucking win.
Why is it that we always come back to snails? I don't
I
understand.
just
this.
fucking
it's the origin. It's the origin of
Snails
Snails
everything.
are the freaking source of everything.
It's literally whenever somebody asks you for a source, just say snail.
Snail, exactly.
They're not even.
Anyway,
We're not even related to them. They're an offshoot of the fucking bugs. I don't.
It's
well,
okay.
that's why we have the other category in sports. Much like, well, I'm not even going to go down that road. You know where I was going with that. Use your imagination, fill in the blank. But snails. We need snails.
Okay, so we
in
have
that
a third
other
one.
category.
The doping, everything. What about other classes of animals like spiders? Or I'm sorry, this is another detraction.
Loaded
Okay, so
humans
what
with
is your
all of
idea
the
of this third
drugs.
thing? Tell me.
Well, what you do is you say, okay, like you get like Tom Brady or whatever.
Uh-huh.
One of the best quarterbacks that has ever lived. And you take someone like that, and you just give him a shit ton of steroids, and you make him massive.
Ooh, got it.
You know,
Okay.
and it's allowed. Like Lance Armstrong and his blood doping thing. You allow him to dope, take all the steroids, just fucking chemically infuse himself with every human enhancement thing that we have, and put him out into the field. And will he die of a heart attack by the age of 38? Yes, probably. But he's going to be a damn good athlete in the meantime.
You know what? Also make a reality show about it, but also leave him with like 37 tons of cake. So if nature plays its course correctly, then you'll have my 1,000-pound doped-up athlete, and we can point and laugh at the massive fat person eating cake while being high on drugs and attempting to run all at the same time. And probably falling out of a minivan toward the end.
Don't we have that? Isn't that just called the Special Olympics?
Oh, snap. Siphon would know all about that. He's got 3 gold medals.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
In the autism rally.
We all know
autist.
that Siphon is he's a very special guy. He's
Exactly.
the most special.
Oh yeah.
Well, to his credit, he did beat the snail in the foot race, so.
Good for him.
Hell yeah.
I mean, as would
Be
be
the most
expected,
wise creatures in the world.
as would be expected as the top athlete of the Special Olympics, he beat a snail.
It literally took forever because he had to do the Zeno's paradox rule, where for every inch the snail crawled, he had to step half an inch.
Okay.
That's a highbrow joke that not everyone's gonna get.
I understood it, and it wasn't that funny.
Womp womp.
My people tell me, sir, that's politically incorrect to say. I said, that's okay, I'll say it anyway, if you don't mind.
Politically incorrect. Canceled.
We've had
removed.
tremendous
Disenfranchised.
Yeah.
problems, and
He's
you know,
bad.
it's very unfair to women, just very, very unfair. We will defend the rights of parents, and we will defend the family as the center of American life. But who would think, standing up here 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that a politician, and I don't like to think of myself as a politician, but I guess that's what I am. I hate that thought. But that a politician would be up saying, we will defend parental rights. Of course you're going to defend it. Who would think that we even have to mention this? Who would think it
I
even
agree.
should be
Parental
a subject
sovereignty.
to be
Let's
talked
go.
about? We have to defend parental rights. Can you believe this?
Oh, snap.
As commander-in-chief, I will get Biden's radical left ideology out of our military, and I did. I did. And in the first day, they put it back. They signed an executive order, and they put it back. It was gone.
Actually, at this time, I was working for the government, and I remember when the Trump administration moved over to the Biden administration, and immediately we all had to take a course on like not being discriminatory on things and being nice. I remember when it all switched over. It was really interesting. Like the politics completely shifted. All of a sudden they were saying, "Hey, you know what? We're all about fucking affirmative action again. We're all about doing all this woke nonsense." There was a marked difference between the Trump administration and when the Biden administration rolled in. So
I'll tell you even time longer than that. Like back when I started working during the Obama administration, I remember everyone at the frickin' orientation, they all had to take the epic sexual harassment is bad and why you should never do it. And everyone was just like, oh, this fucking bullshit again. Everyone was just like giving the canned responses like, no, you don't grab a woman's boobie. No, you don't say that she has a nice ass. Oh, this is so obvious. Like what actual human does this aside from Andy Dick? Can you think of any actual human that would behave like that?
I mean, to be fair, truckers do have a lot of interactions with prostitutes, so maybe they were just trying to clean that up a bit.
Oh man, you son of a bitch! Oh, you know what interactions I had back then? I distinctly remember it was your mom.
Oh my god. Brakir. Wow.
She had to buy you those expired Twinkies from the fucking Costco dumpster somehow.
Hey, don't make fun of TFM. Come on, man.
Oh shit! You actually remember that anecdote?
Yeah, I remember. I remember everything, Brakir.
Well, there you go. But anyway,
5755575.
not quite, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't have
totally
expected that to last that long. But anyway.
Well, for those who aren't aware, I do feel, just for making sure that we keep things true and honest on this channel, and with full transparency, Siphon is actually a hooker, and he's one that has been human
Yeah, I'm a
trafficked
fisherman.
by breakers. So just for full transparency, that's a thing that happened. I'm not going to say that I'm happy about it, but I accept it.
Yeah, basically,
Well, you
me and
know-
Brakir catch fish in the middle of the road.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not proud of this, but he is technically one of, like, the bargain bin cat-eared femboys that I purchased from a deal from Nick Fuentes because he had to get him out of the house somehow. They were starting to, like, clutter up the house, and he couldn't get other various male prostitutes in because there were so many cat boys around. So he just had to get rid of some of them. I got it at the bargain bin.
Oh, he was cheap. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, what better date is a cheap cat boy from, like, a micro dick like Nick Fuentes, am I right? Still want to tread on those tires.
I was gonna say he sounded cheap. I'm glad that you got a good deal.
Ooh.
Yeah, I always got to go for, like, the used femboy from a guy that I know has a micro penis.
Ooh, Nick Fuentes micro penis.
Oh, snap. Nick Fuentes, bring it, motherfucker.
Yeah, but,
Casino,
yeah,
Foot Sports.
Yeah, but guys, source?
Oh, shit.
I believe that
You saw it in a dream?
I believe that you said previously that this is my source, and this is my
Ooh.
source. So
Oh shit.
get fucked.
Well,
Can't argue with that.
that's a lot of
Oh,
words.
shit.
Too bad I ain't read them.
I don't need any other sources. The snail does not lie.
I heard that you were in cahoots with the wise tree.
Oh, shit.
You knew what the
We
wise
will
tree did.
abolish every
right?
Biden COVID
Oh,
mandate
God.
and rehire every patriot who
More
was
esoteric
fired
lore.
from our military with an apology and full back pay.
This is what happens when you get the bargain bin fake cat boys. It's like you end up with this weird fucking lore about snails and wise trees and shit. Like, where the fuck do they make you people?
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's only mildly entertaining.
Like, in this brief span of time, I have
They
dropped, like,
deserve
several whopper professional grade jokes, and all you could do is fucking snail, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, it's
That should be enough.
I believe that
I suppose.
as Trump said, Mexico is not sending their best. It's the same thing here. Generation Z is not sending their best.
You're right. They're sending their most amazing.
Well, you did get here on, like, one of those Fisher-Price Thomas the Tank Engine pedal cars, so...
They're sending their
Yes.
most amazingly priced.
Exactly.
They're sending their most based.
You think that.
I
The
know
most
that.
amazing discounts. Yes, of course.
Wonderful.
Most amazing.
But anyway...
Apology, and they deserve full back pay, and they'll get it. And unlike Biden possibly getting us into World War III, which can seriously happen, I will keep America out of foolish and unnecessary foreign wars, just as I did for 4 straight years. We will again have peace through strength. That's all it is.
Peace through strength.
Speak softly,
As
carry big
events
stick.
overseas have shown,
you.
to protect our people from the unthinkable threat of nuclear weapons and hypersonic missiles, the United States must also build a state-of-the-art, next-generation missile defense shield. We need it. The power of these missiles and the power of a word that I refuse to say, nuclear. We have to have it. We need a defense shield. And we have to do it. And we actually have the technology, and we're going to build it. Just as I rebuilt our military, I will get this done. I rebuilt our entire military, which nobody talks about.
He launched this.
By the way,
When I got there, we
while
had
you're on the
jet
subject of building things, by the way, where's my fucking wall, bitch?
I mean, he built a wall.
Yeah, it's better, but I need some more wall. And when you get back in, I need at least like, can I just get 10% of the wall? How about you like do the hard sell where he's like, I'm gonna build a wall all around the fucking equator of the earth and be like, okay, the compromised version can then just contain like part of the Mexican border. Can you do that?
Here's the thing. He built some wall, but he didn't actually. He wasn't able to complete the wall. There's still many gaps between America and Mexico. People are still coming through.
It's fucking billows. It's literally a wall made of gaps.
Here's the thing. I think that we need to complete the wall between America and Mexico, but we need to continue it along the Californian border. I think that we need to maybe separate that part of America off as well. We should build a border between a big wall, big, massive, barbed wire wall between California and New Mexico. What are the other states that border California? Idaho? No, Idaho.
By the way, while we're talking about the wall, you know what's the most important component of this wall that needs to be built? It is extremely important, since we were talking about Nick Fuentes, it is extremely important that this wall be of the exact same technical specs, if not exceeding those, of the border wall around Israel. I don't know why, but it's extremely important that our wall match perfectly the design specifications of the Israeli border wall. Now, if anyone gets that joke, you're a true, like, Chantard OG.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't get that joke.
It's a very esoteric lore. You'd only get it from deep history in the internet blood sports community.
I see.
I'm a master of the deep lore of blood sports. I know Andy Worski's real name that he doesn't want you to know. I know that, in fact, Boogie2988 just died right now. You can look it up, believe me.
Oh no!
I'm aware that Boogie died. I know that, but we need like an internet historian, but for the deep lore of the more right-leaning like blood sports internet history. Like we need one of those. Perhaps.
Remember the time that Ethan Ralph missed his mother's dialysis appointment.
Ooh, Boogie has cancer. Not good. Just found out.
No, he died.
That's
died.
even worse.
Everyone knows that he died.
True.
Fighters that were 48 years old. We had bombers that were 60 years
Yeah.
old. We had bombers where their grandfathers flew them when they were new. And now the grandchild is flying the bomber, but not anymore.
Like trolling
Steel.
or some multi-billion-dollar business pulling in you losing $2 billion. Who cares? That happened recently. It's like, look, Elon Musk with all those.
You're breaking up a bit, Breaker.
Never mind me. Just the fucking editors know for a while and you go back
That's fine.
to the video. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm shutting up now.
Okay, all right.
The fake dossier. If he will lie and say that the fake dossier was true, and he refused to do it, so it had to be really fake. And then they hired somebody, Demchenko, for $200,000 a year to focus on Trump and to get Trump. Went home, the winner, he's a friend of mine, nice guy. But he was happy, but there was no complaints. And if there is a complaint, you check it out and you can fix it very easily. You can find out what's going on. No, paper ballots, same-day voting, voter ID. So
yeah, this is what I wanted to get to. Trump has actually, he has a plan for fixing the voting system here in America. Paper ballots, which means that they can be audited, which is very important with a lot of these electronic voting measures. There's no audit because the machine is owned by a company that is rented out by the state, and so you can't audit it because it's in the company's hands now, and they've wiped the machine. Blah blah blah. I am very happy that Trump has actually laid out. He's not. During the speech, he didn't just complain about the 2020 elections. In fact, he didn't really complain at all. Maybe a little bit, but he didn't complain. He set forward a path by which we can fix the system. He's saying, "Hey, all right, we're going to do paper ballots. We're going to get voting done in a day. No more of this week-long, month-long election day bullshit. We're going to have quick voting. It's going to be paper ballots, and you're going to have to show an ID in order to vote," which I think is that's the least that ought to be required in order to vote. I voted just a few days ago in the most recent election, and they didn't ask for my ID or even my voting card. They asked. I guess they had me on a list. They said, "Okay, what's your first and last name? What's your address? What's your date of birth?" And I tried to show the guy my ID. He said, "No, I don't want to look at that." What the hell? If I had known someone's name, date of birth, and address, I could have voted in someone's place in the state that I live in. That's absurd. That makes no goddamn sense. That's not a good system. Why is it that I even why do I have a voter card? Why do I have an ID? That's absurd. Now, I also made sure to vote via a paper ballot, but they also had the electronic ballot, and most people were that I could tell were going for the electronic ballot. I don't trust these fucking machines. I don't trust this. Of course, it is a completely fair election. It's the cleanest and fairest and just the best election. All of these are just the fucking best. But I don't know. In my personal experience, I saw maybe some potential issues in the system. So I'll say that.
You know, in the 16 years that I've been voting, I voted in every presidential election, and I voted in like 1 or 2 midterms, I think.
Are you being serious? Have you actually?
I remember most recently when I voted on the 2020 election. I'm not going to tell you who I voted for. Suffices to say he's known for wearing a boot as a hat. But, no, worse than that. Yeah, I remember like attempting to show just my voter registration card to the lady at the door at the fucking public school, and she literally reacted as though it was like showing a cross to a vampire, like, take it away.
Yeah, that was my experience as well. What the fuck is up with that? Why do we have voter cards if they don't want to see them?
I don't know. And it never expires. I've never had to renew it. And I've been voting for 16 fucking years. And I've had the same exact voter registration card for all that time. I don't know who is keeping track of this. Apparently no one.
It is quite absurd, the system that we have. But I think we will we'll stop watching Trump's speech here because this is the main point that I wanted to get to. Trump has a plan to fix the voting system, and I mean, if for nothing else, that's worth something. The ability to fix the voting system, because we are a democratic republic, the way that we, I guess, are supposed to fix things in this country is by voting. Not saying that's the best system, but it's the system that we have. Best system that I think that humanity has discovered yet, and that's how we fix things. And if that process has corruption in it, then that is a huge problem. Trump has a proposition as to how to fix voting and make it truly the freest and fairest elections that could possibly exist. And if not for anything else, that in and of itself, I believe, is worth voting for this man. So, 100%, at least myself, I'm behind Trump. I'm dubious as to if DeSantis will attempt to run. If he does attempt to run, well, it'll be interesting. I think that Trump will win anyway. I don't think it's the best strategic move for DeSantis to run. I am more than willing to vote for him in 2028. He has my vote 100% of the time. But when it comes to 2024, I believe that it has to be Trump. It was always Trump. And that's what it is. So there you have it.
It is what it is, and it ain't no more.
So
I now guess it's time to talk about the crypto coins, and I know that Siphon's favorite topic is crypto coins, and he has many, many insightful things. He has prepared a veritable encyclopedia of sources and knowledge around this very topic.
Oh, yeah,
take it, Siphon. Yeah,
cryptocurrency.
that does not get sales.
Oh my, are you good? Cryptocurrency is a type of digital currency, alright? We got physical currency, we got digital currency, alright? Physical currency, USD, alright? Digital currency, this is like Club Penguin tokens, alright? Or Neopet tokens, right? But the most popular one that people know, it's Bitcoin, right? What happened recently? I have no fucking idea, but apparently shit went down. General Chief knows probably more about this than I do, because he actually is a fucking loser and took the time to get into this.
That was such a good intro. That's so good. You've informed the populace.
I have.
Everyone is smarter for having heard you speak.
They are. They've gained like 50 IQ points from listening to me.
Okay.
Never any fake news on this channel. This is 100% certified fresh and NewsGuard approved. George Soros himself stamped his holy signet ring of the cathedral on this channel.
That is true.
I have like a tattoo of him.
There's a I think that we might have to end up going maybe further in depth into this on the Saturday show. But for this midweek show here, there's this cryptocurrency called FTX. No, sorry. There's an exchange called FTX. They have a token called FTT, and there might have been some shenanigans involved. Now, I did want to pull up this article from Forbes. Now, it's saying why the theory that Sam Bankman-Fried laundered Ukraine aid makes no sense. So Forbes has come out and they've said, okay, look. Did this guy run a massive scam with his crypto exchange, stealing millions and perhaps billions of dollars from American citizens. Yes, true. Did he then take a lot of that money and donate it directly to the Democrats? Yes, true. But the idea that U.S. taxpayer money that was given from the U.S. to the Ukraine for their war effort, was that money invested into the FTX exchange and then given to the Democrats? No, absolutely not. And I looked up. I looked this up. There's a number of articles that have come out that are saying that this is a baseless conspiracy theory, that that money from the U.S. government was sent to the Ukraine and then went into FTX and then was sent back to the Democrats. Baseless conspiracy theory. And this article actually goes into a bit about that. So it says, the sudden collapse of FTX has revealed the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange to be many unpleasant things. But was it a vehicle for Democrats to launder Ukrainian relief funds to their candidates in the 2022 midterms? It's a question worth asking, the world's richest person, Elon Musk, tweeted Monday on the social media platform he now owns and runs. Is it, though? According to the conspiracy theory, highlighted on Fox News' Tucker Carlson tonight, Ukraine received $18.2 billion of security commitments from the U.S. and an unknown amount of donations through a Ukrainian government aid website launched with FTX in March. The Ukrainian government invested some of that money into FTX, the conspiracy theory goes, and Bankman-Fried then supposedly passed on $40 million of it to a handful of left-leaning super PACs. His deputy, Nishad Singh, allegedly funneled another $7.4 million. Then it says, first, there is no evidence that Ukraine invested in FTX or that funds from Ukraine were used to fund personal political donations by Bankman-Fried, who Forbes estimates was worth $16.7 billion before FTX collapsed, or his deputies at the cryptocurrency exchange, which private investors had recently valued at $40 billion, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, I trust Forbes on this matter. Of course I do. The fact that so many websites, these pinnacles of journalism, have come out and have told us that this is not the case. Well, god damn it, I deem that to be trustworthy. I'll tell you what. It seems trustworthy that there was definitely no connection behind U.S. funding of Ukraine and the siphoning of those funds to the Democratic Party. I'm sure it's not the case because I trust the news media. They know all the things. They know what is true. They know what is not true. They're able to fact check far better than anyone else can, and they know what's best for me. So I trust them. But I would not be doing my due diligence if I did not show this headline from this website. It is called pixelplanet.fun.
Uh-oh. Whatever you do, don't scroll over the porn.
Now, I do have to say this. Pixelplanet.fun it's not an accredited news site. So I'm not saying that it's trustworthy here. In fact, I'm prone to distrust pixelplanet.fun. But I do have to show what they're reporting from pixelplanet.fun. They're saying, fun fact, U.S. funding to Ukraine was siphoned into the Democratic Party. Now, I'm not saying that that's true. But if that were to be true, I mean, that would be one of the largest corruption schemes that I think has ever existed in America. I mean, my God, if that were to be true, that would be huge news. I mean, of course it's not. Of course it's not true. But if it were to be true, I mean, my God, that would be incredibly damaging to the Democrats. I mean, that's massive. I mean, my God.
This is how you know that this channel isn't fake news, because if it was, you wouldn't have even pulled up the source on the screen. You would have just said something extremely vague and nebulous like, sources say that this is the case.
No, this is right from the source. This is the website.
I know, but you're showing the actual source. If it was an actual fake news, they would just say sources say, not show any proof whatsoever.
No, this is the.
That's how you know this isn't fake news, because we always cite our sources here at the Promethean Tides. You can clearly see it on the screen right now. We are not fake news.
That's right. This is the source. I'm not saying it's a good source, but it is a source.
Okay,
so,
I'm back.
So there is that.
Yeah, it is a source.
A source, yes.
Exactly.
You know
It's
what?
a good one at that.
Here's the thing.
Wonderful.
I happen to believe that having a source is better than having no source, and
True.
there are a lot of media institutions that say an anonymous source claimed a particular thing, and well, shit. Isn't having...
That's when that song from the Viking TV show starts playing. My mother told me someday I would cite a source.
I mean...
And it was my mom, and she told me that this is totally legit. You should believe it.
I mean, at the end of the day, having a source is better than having a non-existent anonymous source. So here we have it. I believe that the Promethean Tides is now actually superior at journalistic integrity than many of the mainstream news sources, because we don't do anonymous sources here.
Of course,
we just do untrustworthy sources, but sources nonetheless. So, there it is.
And another way that you know we're not fake news is that not once did we bring up the ethnicity of Bankman-Fried during this citation of the source.
We would never do that.
Unlike certain people that have been previously named Nick Fuentes, we would never bring up the ethnicity of Joseph Bankman-Fried on this podcast.
Well, I mean, we could, but
but then we'd be fake news.
and my genuine opinion is that I don't think that matters.
Exactly.
It's
we are inclusive and open-minded and very tolerant. I'm gender shifting again. You must respect my pronouns. Time for more soul.
I mean, here's the thing. Breaker is a flaming homosexual, and
I'm also trans
and potentially trans, and Siphon is probably African American. I have no idea. And yeah, so no, we are very diverse here. And we accept all kinds, and that is the truth.
Exactly.
I myself, I happen to be mixed race. I am half British and half Norwegian. So,
which is very unusual because you happen to be inhabiting the form of a sentient talking poison dart frog native to the island of Cuba. So
yeah, that's right. I'm also a frog. That is what the lore is. You're I guess a disembodied AI octahedron, and I'm a poison dart frog, who happens to be half British and half Norwegian. But anyway,
I am the dread shape at the end of the blackest night that harkens in the age of eternal darkness.
So we we might end up going into this a little bit more on the Saturday show. We're running a little bit long here for the Wednesday show. But yeah, I guess that the whole FTX thing, it's curious. I think it's something worth looking into. Why is it that there was such a fraudulent scheme, and why is it that Sam Bankman-Fried happened to give so much money to the Democrats? It's an interesting question. Who knows what will come of it? But it is how would you say it? The almonds. It really really activates the almonds.
Almonds activated.
And, potentially with a story this large, it might not just be the almonds. It might be the cashews and the walnuts. So look out for this one. I think this is going to end up being a rather large story. And of course, it has no connection to the Ukraine whatsoever. Of course.
Exactly. But one thing I think you neglected during this particular news segment, I think you got the pronunciation of Samuel Bankman-Fried incorrect.
Oh, as I am wont to do, of course.
Samuel Bankman-Fried is the correct pronunciation.
It's not Samuel Bankman-Fried. It's Samuel Bankman-Fried.
Your merchant voice needs some fucking work.
I would never want to mispronounce someone's name.
Especially such a famous merchant as he.
No, I wouldn't want to mispronounce anyone's name because that is a microaggression. And we here at the Promethean Times, we stand against microaggressions in every form because we are good boys and we didn't do that.
And if you were to write his name down in text form, you most definitely would not place 3 parentheses on either side of it.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. I think that is as good a place as any to leave this. If we, Christ, YouTube isn't going to be happy with this one. All right.
Don't worry, it's cryptic enough. They'll never figure it out. They're all fucking AI drones anyway.
That's true. I would like to point out that me personally, I'm speaking for myself here, not for Breaker or Siphon, but I would like to point out that although I enjoy some of these jokes and they are funny, I'm a libertarian, and I happen to believe that all people have a place in this world as long as they figure out a way to reproduce. I as a libertarian, I accept all. My favorite political philosopher is Thomas Sowell. Okay, he's my fave as a libertarian. So I want to point that out. That is where I stand. But with that, I guess that we can bring this show to a close. Any final words, Breaker?
I disavow anyone and everything up to and including myself. This program should never be viewed by anyone. But before you leave, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm. And then we can start selling merch like, I don't know, various tchotchkes like ashtrays with my face on them. Everyone will love that.
Bakir face reveal.
Exactly.
I was thinking, actually, we take the frog and we take the octahedron and we slap them on a t-shirt. And I think that'd actually be pretty cool.
I could actually make that happen for relatively cheap. So
I think that would. I mean, that's a cool little logo. I mean, the frog is cool and the octahedron is cool. Siphon, any?
We gotta make up a rap song about the merch.
No rap songs.
God damn it!
My final words are 3 letters back.
That's cryptic. Okay. Well, with that, peace out, everyone.